Hi, and welcome to another Chip and Joanna Gaines Magnolia Fixer Upper review. Apparently, I can't stop talking about them, but honestly, they're in the news and they're doing a ton of projects. They're one of the main, interior people in entertainment, so it kind of makes sense that I'm constantly reviewing them because they're always having projects coming out. I don't know. I feel like I'm constantly talking about them. I think I have like 3 videos. I did a review on, what did I do actually? I reviewed their castle project in Waco, Texas, which actually got quite a good review, which is fun. I also reviewed their hotel in Waco, Texas, which got a decent review. I wouldn't say I loved it, but it was kind of I guess both of these projects were the first projects where I was like, oh, this is better than what I've been seeing on HGTV. And then I actually went to Waco, Texas, and reviewed the silos and the hotel in person. Honestly, that was just like a fun trip in general because that place is pretty wild. And yeah, now we're here for their next project that was released, or I guess you could watch it on many platforms. I think it was released like a few months ago, but it's called Fixer Upper, the Lakehouse. And this is very different than what they usually do. I don't know. They do all different types of projects. They've done a hotel, they've done homes, they've done apartments, whatever. And if you know me, you know I love a lake house. My family has a lake house in Middle Michigan, pretty much the most random town ever. So here are my thoughts and my review on Fixer Upper, the Lake House with Chip and Joanna Gaines. Here we go. The house was built in 1965, but it was renovated, or the last time it was renovated was the 80s. So it's very 80s style. The house itself is a Spanish Revival mid-century type home, which I love, and kind of fun that that's existing in Waco. It's a 5-bedroom, 5-bath, 5,100 square feet. It's a big lake house. It has a pool. It has a cool like rec room. It has amazing large windows. It's pretty ideal. I'm so curious what it's for sale for. Actually, does that exist? Let's look. Okay, no info on that yet, but a Reddit person, because we trust all Reddit people, say it'll probably sell for $3 million, but I feel like it's going to be more than that unless we're kind of in a random area of Waco. They did say that there's not many lake houses in Waco in general, so you would think that might up the price. Also, people are becoming obsessed with lake houses, cottages, little homes on like inland water things. I don't know, with like sea levels rising and global warming, it's kind of ideal actually to have a house that's not on a really large body of water. Just saying. So lake houses are in, oceans are out. The before, honestly, a stunning home. If I saw this home and I had that type of money, I would say, whoa, I love the architecture of this. I've never really seen this style where it's mid-century and Spanish mixed. I don't know. It's unique. It's very unique and kind of long and comes to some points. My first thoughts were, oh, Chip and Joanna are going to paint it like a green color. They're going to paint the brick. But honestly, they've moved past that. They've proven themselves to move past painting brick, which is pretty sweet. They even stated this, they said a sentence, or Joanna said a sentence that was like, even the smallest things can make such a difference. And I'm like, yeah, that's not what HGTV has been doing for the past 15 years. Now we're saying small touches make a big difference. I mean, that's what I've been saying since I started my channel, I guess. So I love what they did with the after. Basically, they just upgraded the landscaping. Obviously, that needed help. Got rid of the weird door entry gate and painted the top wood parts a dark, deep brown, which I think looks really nice. They even kept the light fixtures at the entry, and I think in the past they honestly wouldn't have done that. So I like the color palettes. I like that they just gave this a nice refresh, and I really do like the brown. So exterior, we love, but I will say, I don't know if I feel exactly the same about the interior, so bear with me as I blab. Okay, now we're in the courtyard of this home, and I really love that this house even has a courtyard. It's really cool to have that type of feature. I really love when there's like some enclosed space that's outside. And a lot of mid-century homes will show that, where it will even be like a square home and it will have like a little square in the middle courtyard. So anyways, love this courtyard. Again, love the dark brown that they put in there, and they kept all of the flooring. It just was a nice upgrade. They basically just made it feel more new instead of trying to give us this like crazy before and after. The paint already does that for us. So the one thing that they did add was this koi pond, which I'm like, sure, have a koi pond. Why not? But because this is labeled as a lake house, that means people aren't really going to be living there full time. And then having to take care of that koi pond does sound annoying. But we do have to know that if you're buying this house, you probably have people who are taking care of things for you. Because if you can afford a $3 million home, you probably have like landscaper people that are constantly coming over. Like I'm not going to be in the koi pond cleaning that. Now the entry. This is where I'm starting to have some more critiques. I actually don't really have any from the outside. So now let's go to the inside and I can tell you my thoughts. First, they got rid of the flooring. I don't necessarily think the flooring needed to stay. It's fine. Got the flooring. It's old. It's distracting from some of the view, which I guess Joanna pointed out. I personally don't love the terrazzo flooring that they had installed. It's a classic terrazzo. It fits with the era of the home. But I don't know. Something about the stark white is not what I would have chosen. I do like that they are trying to stay with the era and not trying to, magnolia-fy everything, which they kind of do through the furnishings, which you'll see. But again, I think it's somewhat staging furniture, or basically all staging furniture. So people will decorate it, whatever. Anyways, moving on to the staircase. Love the staircase. Absolutely love that wood that they chose. I think there's carpet on those stairs, and I'm really into the carpet that they chose. It's definitely something I would choose. And then they added in this green tile backing, and at first I was like, this is cool, this is amazing. But when you start seeing the rest of the house, you see how much they lean into the mid-century. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily would have done that. I don't know. I like it in the hallway, but you'll see. There's other areas where I'm like, we're just like going too much into this theme now. Also, another note that I have about lake houses in general, I don't love when they're too modern per se. I like when a lake house feels like you're on a lake. It feels cozy. So I don't know. It feels like maybe this could be someone's full-time home because they're in Waco. I don't know, a little too modern of touches for me as we start going through. Let's keep going. I also really love what they did to the front door. That mid-century wood is really nice, and it looks like they kind of kept the windows and just upgraded the window panes or whatever. A nice upgrade, and the wood is nice, I think. Entry does get a pass. I just don't like the terrazzo. Let's move on into the library. Here is the library before, just a general room that they kept pretty much exactly the same and just added in decor. And that's my favorite type of project, is when you can go into a home and just add in decor instead of having to make like crazy changes. I don't know why they got rid of the bookshelves and moved them to the other side. It does look good. It just feels a little unnecessary. I feel like if it were me, I would have just extended those bookshelves or maybe got rid of the L on that side. It didn't seem like it was necessary to knock those down. But the after does look very amazing, but it doesn't feel like a lake house to me. I still love it. It just doesn't feel like a lake house. Oh, there is a dog on my lap. And then when you look out the doors in this library, it's kind of cool that you see the staircases, and I like the doors, but I don't love them. They could have done something pretty unique there. And I don't know, the frosted glass is just starting to feel hotel-y to me. Let's go to the living room because I have a lot to say about the living room, and I'm curious what you all have to say about it because it's confusing to me. The before is nice. It's just a general, Lakehouse room. They kept the layout here the same. They start to mess with the layout more when they go into this next back little breakfast nook area. They kind of renovate this big kitchen. But this is kind of the same. They do redo the fireplace and they extend the windows to be floor to ceiling. If you take a look at these windows, they are nice, but I guess if you have the budget and the creativity, you can do anything you want. They extended the windows a foot higher, which obviously is ideal, but was it necessary? Not really, but it is ideal. Let's look at the after here. I do want to note that I love what they did with the windows and I like the wood trim around it. I think if the beams were already wood, they would have kept them, but the beams were already white, so they kept the beams white, which I think is nice. It's nice and fresh and airy. The fireplace is kind of what throws me off, especially in this photo. I think it's a lot to do with the decor. I'm starting to feel like I'm in California a little. It's the lime wash texture with the arched fireplace, which already came with the home, so we can't, hate it too much. But I think adding in that lime wash and then knocking down those shelves, they added in these very trendy, rounded shelves that I don't like any of this. I would say this is one of my biggest critiques of the place. I don't like what they did to the fireplace at all. I'm not saying they should have kept the cabinets that were there before, but I think a nice traditional cabinet or something a little bit more sleek would have just looked a lot better. I don't necessarily like what they did. I actually hate it. I don't love rounded shelves and with lime wash and with that decor. It's bad. I don't like that at all. I would say their biggest fault in everything they do, and it's always my biggest critique with them, are their light fixture choices. I think a lot of it is stuff that they sell at Magnolia. If you go into their little blog, which is where a lot of these photos are coming from, you can click on a page that says the fixer upper, the Lakehouse inspired furniture and decor. So not everything is from here, but they have a whole page of stuff that you can scroll through that they furnish the place with or stuff similar to it. And it's bad. Sorry. It's Target stuff, so I get it. They're just trying to make a little bank. But imagine the projects they could do if they hired a proper interior designer. They do good with the bones, besides that fireplace. They usually do good with the bones, but if they had an interior designer to come in and not stage it with stuff for Target, I just think their projects could get taken to the next level of interior design. Again, they're so close. That's what I was kind of saying a lot in the hotel. The furniture and the light fixtures. At least put in a vintage light fixture. I don't know, that might be vintage, but again, it's going too far into this mid-century thing. I don't like when everything is the same because then it starts to time warp a little. Okay, now let's go into this breakfast nook area. When you're looking at the nook from the living room, family room, they have, just a square opening with some doors, and they knocked that down and put in a rounded edge opening. I like that they knocked it down and elongated this. This was a breakfast nook / laundry room that they ended up moving the laundry room over. You'll see as we get to that. And they made this into the kitchen. I like that idea. I like that the kitchen and the living space intertwine because, again, if you're at a lake house, it's very family oriented and everyone's hanging out and being jolly. So it's kind of fun that these are more connected and less small rooms. If you watch my channel, you know I love small, disconnected rooms. But when it comes to a vacation home, I am open to things being a little more open because you're not looking for as much alone time. It's not your day-to-day stuff. You're not really working. You're here to vacation. You're here to lake. You're here to kayak. You're here to pontoon. And you're here to drink a beer. So we do like that it's a little more open concept. I don't like that it's round edged though. They were trying to go off of the new shelves that they put in that I hate and then the rounded fireplace, but I don't like that that's a round edge, I will say. The before of the breakfast nook was fine. They could have made that into something cute, but I do like what they did of knocking that down and knocking the laundry room down. The laundry room doesn't really need to be in this location. Let's talk about the decor of the kitchen because I'm not going to be that for it.
Hey, it's Paige's sister Teague. Let's take a little break to talk about today's sponsor, Earth Breeze.
Fun fact about my sister, she's obsessed with cleaning. Aren't you obsessed with cleaning?
Love.
So I knew she would love this product because she's constantly doing laundry. Is that correct, Tig?
Cleaning.
For me personally, I don't like those giant jugs of detergent. So it's kind of fun that these come in a little sheet that you can just throw in the wash. Earth Breeze is on a mission to make high-quality, low-waste products that deliver meaningful environmental and social impact. Every time you use an Earth Breeze product, you are reducing single-use plastic waste and helping someone in need. Not only are the eco sheets better for the planet, they also make laundry easier. There's also a subscription model, so you never run out. The tiny sheets can stop millions of detergent jugs from entering our ecosystems. 500 million detergent jugs end up in landfills and oceans every single year.
Go to earthbreeze.com/page to get started with 40% off. That's earthbreeze.com/page for 40% off your subscription. Thanks, Earthbreeze, for sponsoring my sister's video.
Let's start with the floor. I actually like the tile flooring. I think that's something they could have done in the entry because the white terrazzo just felt cold and stark. They could have warmed it up with something similar to this. But again, we've seen this all before, nothing really different. And then it's just trendy. It's just a trendy kitchen. It doesn't feel Lakehouse. Marble, why marble? You see marble in every single home. You see this photo right here, you see all the time. And we are at a Lakehouse once again. So why not do a fun granite or just something different than this marble, lime wash, green countertop, trendy bar stools, trendy little bistro table. I don't like this kitchen at all. At all. I think they did a better job at the Castle kitchen, which, I talked about reviewing that place. That place got a great review because a lot of things felt more classic and less trendy. And I don't know why this kitchen had to go in like such a trendy direction with the light fixture and the hood. I don't know. I was hoping they would do something more woodsy. And I don't know, how many times am I going to repeat myself? Lakehousey. Tell me your thoughts. Like, should it be more Lakehouse? Like, you can have a mid-century Lakehouse. What about these inspo photos? What about these? They have a little breakfast coffee nook, which they tried to add in this mid-century tile. But again, I think it's like the archway of it. I'm going to ignore that and pass along. If you go this way, where it's the big wooden wall and you open up what you think might be a fridge, but it brings you into a butler's pantry. They love a butler's pantry, like a place to kind of store all of your shit. And I like that. I like, especially at a large lake house where there's 5 bedrooms, there's going to be a lot of people there at all times. You need a ton of food. And why not have a little room for that if you have the money? So I do like that. And I like all of the wood and the detailing. Everything else is trendy AF. Now here is the dining room before. This is right off of the entry, actually, I think. Yes, this is like when you walk in to the right. And I think they just did a general refresh. Sure. They have that green tile again, which I don't hate it. I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. The chairs around the dining table are really cool. I like this camel colored fabric that they have been entering. You can see it on the stairs with the carpet. That color is very me, very chartreusey brown. So I like those chairs a lot with the chrome. I feel like that's so different for them to be using chrome. And then the light fixture is brass and the chairs are chrome. And I'm not against mixing metals, but it just doesn't work. Something's off. And the tables, whatever. They could have done like some really cool, big wood table and not something, rounded and trendy. I don't like it. If you look at the view this way, they added in these panels in this like straw grass wallpaper, which I like. And they have this big mid-century cabinet and the lights are cool. This is a nice touch, I think. And it adds some warmth, and they needed the warmth because of the white terrazzo. What are your thoughts on the terrazzo? I know it's classic, but I don't know. They could have done something better on the floor. Now I'm pondering. Now they have a rec room, which is fun. Rich people love rec rooms. If you have a giant house, make a rec room. But in the Midwest, we call those basements. And we absolutely trashed our basement. So my parents never really made it that nice for us. They did to an extent, but nothing like this. So you'll see. The before was the kitchen that they used to have. And it's a very industrial kitchen. I feel like whoever lived here before, used to host a lot, and I feel like maybe the kitchen wasn't the main hang. Nowadays, I feel as though we all gravitate towards the kitchen. When I have people over, we love to be in the kitchen. When we go somewhere, everyone gravitates towards the kitchen, which is interesting. But this kitchen doesn't feel like they designed it that way. It's very industrial, maybe where people were just preparing food, I guess. But anyways, they knocked this all down and made it into a rec room. I like that. The rec room gets my stamp of approval, if anybody cares about my stamp of approval, because I have a lot of things that I like about the rec room. One being the wood paneling. Those wood walls are so fun to have, especially in a room that's, like game night or where people are hanging out. Love the wood paneling so much. I want to do that in a home of mine eventually. The fireplace is cool. That's a traditional mid-century type fireplace. I love that they added that in. That is definitely a mid-century touch that I like. Like, it didn't time warp it. It's kind of updated. This is a very mid-century feeling room, yet it feels modernized at the same time. I also like the flooring, the black and white checker. I'm not always for that, but I think it does fit in certain areas, especially a rec room, an area that's supposed to be very fun and playful. If they did that in the entry, it might have been a little too much, but I love it here. The light fixtures I actually like the light fixture they chose on the ceiling. I guess my only critique really is the furniture. I like the giant built-in couch, but I will say it doesn't look that comfy. It looks kind of like a bench. The rug is fine, the coffee table, whatever. The chair is pretty bad, and there's like a little table, which they could have done something better. But the design of the room, we love. And when I say we, I mean me, unless you agree with me, which I think you do. I also love this little entry area that they put together. The floor, again, is cool. It's fun. It's a small area. It looks really good with the wood paneling. The bench with the little window behind it is cool. I don't normally love an arch, but that's a good area to have an arch. And that's just my own personal preference. I think a lot of people like arches. I'm just weirdly against them. I think I'm scarred by the painted arch. I have an arched mirror in my bedroom. If you follow me on Instagram or watch my home updates, you'll see I got this arched mirror. I did it because I'm trying to get myself to be okay with some arches, and I'm not. So I am selling that. So if you live in Los Angeles and want to buy this from me, let me know. But anyways, back to this. I'm not even going to talk about the ceiling light fixture. That's all I have to say. I like the little mid-century light that they put in on the left right there, a little blue, and then they have a little mid-century art piece. They love to go with the theme there. But I like that little blue. I like this room. I like it. I like it. Now this little bathroom section. Wait, this is kitchen. Look at the sink. No, that's a bathroom? No, this must be laundry. Yeah, that faucet is very, but laundry, I guess that makes sense. But anyways, yeah, I don't like the yellow I don't love this type of mid-century design where it's like too in that era. Does that make sense? And that's what this is giving me. Okay, primary bedroom. This is just a standard bedroom. Wow, look at that ceiling fan. That is funky with like a little big ball on the end. Curious to see what they do to this because it's pretty bare boned. And they kind of just put wood and grass wallpaper and a bad light fixture. I don't think I should say it again because I feel like you're going to stop watching the video. And a bad rug, but these rugs are everywhere and they're magnolia, so it's like they're just trying to sell their products. They say that this is their favorite headboard that they've like ever made or something. I would have liked it if they didn't add the green. Also, I don't love the double arch look. Too many rounded corners and stuff, I think, is what's going on here. This looks like a very pleasant room though, and this is the first room that feels Lakehouse-y to me. I don't know, maybe it's because it's the first room that's all wallpaper, all wood. I think this is what makes it really cozy. I feel like if they did like a dark, big rug and maybe some fun pattern bedding, a better light fixture, and no green headboard, I feel like this would have looked good. But I like how they just kept the structure and just made it dark wood. I feel like they never in the past would have taken white wood and made it dark, which is basically what they did. They didn't really like change much about it. And if you turn this way, they have like a little bench nook thing and some rounded built-ins, and I like the wood. And again, it's just a preference of mine of the rounded edges. I don't know why. I just don't. Definitely critiquing this pretty hard because I was really impressed by their castle, and I guess I'm just like not as impressed with their design here. But let's go into the bathroom. Here's the before of the bathroom. And while it's very outdated, they could have maybe kept the tub and redid it, but they got rid of the tub and put in like a very modern tub, but maybe they couldn't keep the tub. And then they love a big walk-in shower type thing. And while it does feel good, it just feels very hotel to me. And they used a lot of that frosted glass, and I just don't feel like it really fits in with this space, but you know, whatever. I really hate the vanity. I like how it elongates into a place where you can sit, but I don't like the marble. I don't really like anything else here. The outside, there's a giant pool. That's pretty amazing to have a lake house with a pool. Kind of ideal. Also so scary. If you have a bunch of kids, I feel like it's so scary to have a pool. It's definitely something I've never really wanted because it just is so nerve-wracking. I don't even have kids. Honestly, anytime I'd have family here, I would hire a lifeguard, which I've heard of people doing, which is smart, to hire a lifeguard if you have a pool and you have like a kid's birthday party. I used to be a lifeguard actually for 3 years, and I never once had to save anybody because I worked at a rich country club and the moms there hover their kids. But anyways, back to this pool. They kept it, which is great. Why waste your money to redo this? I think it looks amazing. This photo is pretty incredible. Photos can really do so much to a space. I think this looks great. They just kind of upgraded it. They kept the brick. They added in this mid-century yellow type whatever. I don't despise that, I guess. It is pretty. Honestly, I'm going to say yes because I'm just glad they didn't do something super trendy. But yeah, it looks great. They upgraded the back of the house. This is also such a stunning photo. You can notice that they have the very classic mid-century type fencing. It's like this brown see-through concrete work, and that looks nice as well. I didn't know Waco really even had like a mid-century moment. Am I just misinformed? Have I not done my research? But this is nice. I really like it. Now, the greenhouse, which is just on the property, it basically was a project that needed to be done. And they, I think they did a nice job. They painted it dark and the inside is green. There's a bunch of cactus in there, a very native plant to Waco. That sounded sarcastic, but there are cactus in Texas. But I just feel like California boho style has taken over this look. So I immediately think California. But anyways, yeah, I think it's good. They had to add in, the ball light fixture, and I honestly like it. If it were me, I probably would have kept the wood beams how they were and went in a more classic woodsy lake house feel. But this is very Magnolia, and this is the type of thing where it's this just looks nice. How much critique can I really give on a greenhouse? I don't like the color. I do like the color. I just would have done the lake house vibe that I keep constantly talking about. Are you sick of it? Are you sick of me? Have you tuned out yet? Okay, and last is this patio area that they had. And I actually like that they turned it into gravel. The one thing that I've learned from my dad as we have been upgrading our lake house in Michigan is that a deck is a lot to upkeep. So the more deck and wood you have outside, especially in Michigan through the winters, you have to upkeep that every year. And so I think getting rid of this wood area and putting in gravel just requires a lot less upkeep. And I think it's just beautiful. I love the fire pit that they put in, like a cast iron type fire pit, and the gravel and the chairs. This is nice. This is pretty. My overall take from Fixer Upper the Lake House is that it's not a lake house. It's a very modernized mid-century home with some random Spanish curves, is kind of how I would put it, and furnished in Magnolia style. Will I say one more word on the light fixtures? No, we will leave it at that. You all know how I feel. I think with all of the wood touches, all of the upgrades, the flooring is nice. The exterior is the best part. I think with all of that, I like the home. I'm going to end it with a like. I'm going to end it with a 50% like, which is actually a fail. So maybe 60%, that's also a fail. That's how much I like it, I guess. It's just too trendy. It's too modern. It's too much marble. It's too much, I don't know. How do I feel about it? I don't like it. I guess that's what it is. I'll be curious to see if someone buys it. If you're watching and you are a millionaire and you're looking for a home in Waco, Texas, I would recommend this, I guess. Sure. If this is your style. This just feels not like a lake house. Some people do live full-time on a lake, and therefore this could be nice. For you, This could be nice for you. But overall, yeah, not for me. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. I'm curious if you all feel the same way. I feel like you do, but don't just say it to please me. Tell me your opinions. And that's pretty much it. If you want to see my Lakehouse renos, make sure to sign up for the newsletter. And there's some other fun things that are coming out. Oh, Kate just launched paint consultations. If you are subscribed to the newsletter, you would have saw that launched on Friday. I'll link that down below as well. She'll basically tell you what to paint your room, which is so ideal. Or the exterior of your house or your doors. That's it. I'm gonna go eat. I made this I like to buy the pre-made salads, and I made an Asian crunch pre-made salad. So I'm gonna go eat that. And then I'm going to Tax tonight. If you live in Los Angeles, you have to go to Tax, Taix. It's one of the oldest bars here, and it's my favorite, one of my faves. You'll see if you go. It's kind of dirty and grungy, and the lighting is pretty bad, but I like it. Okay, actually, goodbye. Goodbye.